So we've got a message from a Federation starship. We don't know them, they're not from round here. Tell them to bugger off. Sir, we've been told to bugger off. Well, we're going in anyway. What? Yes, I'm the person in charge here and I'm saying we're going in, despite them telling us that we shouldn't. That's not what Picard would do. Well, I'm not Picard. I'm some random dude you'll never see again. Sir, they're coming in anyway. Well, now they're going to have to die. Hello and welcome to another episode of TrekHammer, where we're talking about every single episode of Star Trek from the start to the modern episodes. Today we're talking about the classic Star Trek episode, A Taste of Armageddon. Alright, this one's a bit weird. It gives a chance for Scotty and some of the bridge crew to shine, especially Scotty. Oof. He gets a lot of good lines. But it doesn't paint the Federation in a very good light, does it? So the situation is that the Enterprise is taking an ambassador to a place where a lot of starships just disappear, never come back, never get heard from again. They're trying to set up diplomatic relations so that hopefully this won't happen anymore. But here's the thing. The planet warns them not to come near. It's dangerous to come near, so they're told, under no circumstances should you come, we don't want to talk to you. Now Kirk does what any starship captain should do from the Federation in these circumstances. He says, very well, we won't come. And he says, right, we're going to turn around and we're going to go back and just report to the Federation that they've told us not to come near. That's respecting planetary sovereignty. That's respecting the fact that these people have said no. The Federation ambassador, the guy who is a diplomat who should know better through training and just common sense, because you can't make a friend if you barge into their house, sit down at their table, put your feet up on their sofa and say, right, I'm here to talk. That just doesn't work. He says, no, I'm in charge of this mission and I say we're going in, despite the fact that they've said no. I'll let you decide who's got the right idea here, but I'm pretty much on the side of Kirk. But Kirk has been overruled, so in they go. And they get into orbit, and the people on the planet are like, oh, they came in. We warned them off. They're here. We warned them off, but now they're here. Just like before. Which is a very interesting point. So, Kirk and a few of his crew beam down. Meanwhile, the planet that this planet is supposedly at war with fires an attack. Now, there is no evidence of an atomic war on this planet. Kirk asks what kind of weapons are being used in this attack, and apparently it's fusion bombs. So there should be quite a lot of devastation. You should be able to see what's going on. He looks around, nothing's happened. He contacts the ship. Is there any radiation or any evidence of an attack? No, sir. So what's going on? And then they get told, it's a simulated attack, but the effects are very real. They've decided that these people have died, and those people have died, and those people over there have died. And so has everyone on the Enterprise. Oh, the Enterprise got caught in the crossfire between these two planets that are firing at each other. Well, apparently they're now to report to disintegration chambers and just let themselves be killed. Because this imaginary war, which these people think is very real, has declared that this ship has been a casualty of the conflict. Just like what happened 50 years ago. The previous ship from the Federation that went to try and get relations with this planet. So every time the Federation shows up, the other side kill it. Ridiculous. Kirk's not happy about this. Kirk's really not happy. You expect us to just allow ourselves to be killed for your simulated war? No, 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 no. And then this planet says, but that's the best way to fight a war. We've taken all the horror out of war. We've taken out the devastation, the damage to our culture. We have people who die, yes, but the culture is not wiped out. There's no disease, there's no famine, there's nothing like that. We've made war clean. We've made war bearable. And that's really the problem, isn't it? They've taken the fear out of war. So this war's been waging for 500 years. They're not destroying their culture in their minds, but their culture has clearly been warped by the fact that this war has been going on for 500 years, and now, in their minds, the possibility of just dying because a random number in a computer states that you got caught in a blast that never happened, so you have to willingly walk into a suicide booth. That's part of their culture now. It has changed. They don't see it, but it has. It's very different to what it would have been beforehand. But they're terrified that if they don't meet their quota of people who died because of these computer-generated statistics, well, the other side will see that as a revocation of the treaty between the two planets, and they'll fight them for real. So they're going along with it. This culture is all now fear of a war going on for real, and as a result, they start trying to trick the Enterprise crew to come down, because they're 1,000 people short of their quota, and there's 500 people on the Enterprise that are supposed to be dead. Kirk and Spock destroy some of the suicide booths to save people from having to die and get arrested and get captured and all of this. And then eventually Kirk manages to break out and Spock breaks out. Spock with a mind meld through a wall in order to do this, by the way. That's a power creep that we don't see before, and thankfully don't see again as far as I can remember. They get out and decide, right, we need to sort this out. And violate the Prime Directive in many ways. Because Kirk and Spock then march into the war room, get their phasers, and shoot the computer that was doing the statistics. So, they have interfered and changed, irrevocably changed, this planet's culture. And the guy that's in charge of the planet is like, what have you done? They're gonna launch an attack for real now. You've just killed everyone. And Kirk says, no, I haven't. Now, you've got to talk to the other side. Because I'll guarantee they're as frightened of a war as you are. So perhaps you might be able to sort this out and actually talk to each other and try for peace. Apparently they've put a communications line directly to the command center on the other planet, and it hasn't been used for hundreds of years. These guys don't even talk to each other anymore. They have peace via mutually assured suicide. And that's not a good thing, is it? And it's also a really, really clear metaphor for the mutually assured destruction between America and Russia during the Cold War. But the idea is that these guys aren't even talking. They're just assuming that the other side's going to launch an attack. So they just have to deal with this now. Because all of a sudden, Kirk's brought the horror back to war. It's one thing that the guy says, you're a barbarian. Yes, I am. I absolutely am. And so are you. Because, yes, we're both killers, but we've decided, well, I won't kill today. And then tomorrow you'll decide, well, I won't kill today. You accept the fact that you are a savage creature, a predator, a hunter, a killer. But you can choose not to kill. And I love that part of that episode. So, why don't you, Mr. in charge of this weird planet, why don't you choose not to kill today? I love it. It's a really good piece. And yes, it is a bit weird. There's a bit where Kirk fights a load of guards, despite the fact that he's got a gun and they're trying to kill him. So he fights them and then they beat him unconscious and drag him away. Spock doesn't do that. Spock sees some guards in the same sort of situation and just shoots them. Because that's the logical thing. You have a gun, they have a gun, you fire first. That's the logical thing. I love that. Visually, it's showing you that the people on this planet are terrified of actually going into a fight for real. They'll menace, they'll trick, but they don't want to fight for real. And then Spock comes along. But logically, we're in a life or death situation. I choose to live. Bang. And he kills guys. The Federation will fire first to save its people. These guys won't. They'll just trick and scheme. It's very clever. Visually, it's showing what they're like. And in dialogue, it's showing what they're like. In action, it's showing what they're like. And it's really well done on all levels. I would say this is a solid 9, perhaps even 9. Yeah, let's go for 9.5. It's a really well done episode. I love it. So, warp factor 9.5, Mr. Sulu. Guys, what do you think about this? Have I given it too high a rating or too low a rating? Did I miss something out that you like, that you think's important? Or have I covered what you thought as well? Do let me know in the conversation box down below, because I want to have a conversation about Star Trek with you guys. I really love having those chats. And that's all we've got time for today. So remember to like, comment and subscribe, because it really does help the channel out. And until next time, I've been Zoe Kirk Robinson. You've been watching TrekHammer. Live long and prosper, and I'll see you later. If you like the show, please consider supporting me on Patreon. It really does help create future videos. That's patreon.com/Zoe Kirk Robinson. And I've got an extra special thanks going out to Chief89, Sam Yates, Retro Mickey82, Mo Henry, and George Botterini. Thank you so much, guys.